I'm your host, Ashleigh, and today we're diving into a crucial topic I believe we need to be constantly asking ourselves, deciding what we want, and honestly assessing what you're willing to do in order to have it. In this episode, we'll explore how to identify your true desires, the importance of honesty in goal setting, and practical steps to align your actions with your ambitions. So step one is to identify your true desires and what you really want in any area of your life, whether that be friendships, romantic relationships, whether it's for your career or the direction in which you want your life to go. What vision or what idea do you have for your life? And then we work backwards and to identify the small little steps to get you to that point. So firstly, I want you to have a moment and understand the differences between your wants and your shoulds. Often we kind of get these mixed up and we're unsure of what we truly want because we're basing our decisions off what we think we should want, what society, our family, our friends, or somebody else told us that we should have, or that we should have done, or that we're meant to do. So often our wants are overshadowed by the shoulds. So forget about the shoulds, forget about what you should have, might have, or could have, and just ask yourself, what do I truly want? If what you truly want is to build a business and not have a 9-to-5 job, fantastic. If you want to travel the world and make money as opposed to sitting in one place, fantastic. But ask yourself what it is that I want. When you're going through these things, ask yourself deep reflective questions that help you get to the bottom root cause or the bottom root answer, if you will. Just going off a surface level, oh, it's just what I want. Cool, but what's below that? Do you know why you want it? Do you know the deep desire that you have for that want? If your want is to build a business, why do you want to build a business? Is it so you can have freedom? Is it because you want more responsibility, knowing that responsibility is freedom? Is it you want to build a business because you want to leave an impact? Because you want to create something that you've not done before? You want to challenge yourself. What is the reason that you want the thing? When you can ask yourself that question and you can narrow it down to such a deep defined why, it will cause you to root yourself and become so aligned in that answer that nothing will knock you off course. Nobody else's should will make you question it. Nobody else's why are you doing that? Why aren't you doing X, Y, and Z will make you will make you rethink or question your want. An example for this, personally for me, was when I decided to sell my gym. I knew that deep in my core, what I wanted was no longer aligning with where I was. There was 1,000 shoulds as to why I should keep it, why it was easy just to keep it, why someone else felt like it was the right thing to do or I should have kept it or whatever it was. There were so many shoulds. But because I was so deeply aligned with I don't want this anymore. This is not what I want. This is not where I want to be, and this is not where I want to grow any longer. When it came time to sell it, it was the easiest pivot to make. And I say easily very loosely because it was still hard, but it enabled me to do the step that I needed to. The next one is basically step 3, and it's making sure that your actions now align with what you want. I truly think people get lost in this step because they say they want something. Like, I want a big life. I want to make a business. I want a relationship. I want to live wherever, insert answer, but not actually willing to do the steps in order that it takes to get the thing. Usually between point A and the thing that you want is a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication, consistency, and sometimes setbacks, but you have to keep pushing forward regardless of what happens if it's what you truly want. Let's use building a business for an example. If you want to build a business and no longer in a 9-to-5, then your actions have to align with that. You can't decide one day that you want to build a business and the next day it's not really your thing. That action is not aligning with somebody who wants an ambitious goal of owning their own business. If you want to lose weight, then your actions of showing up to the gym, getting your food right, doing your steps, being active, all of those things matter. But if you can't effectively put in motion those steps to get to the ambition or the goal that you want, then you don't actually want it. You just like talking about it, in my opinion. So in order to do this, or to try and break it down, you've established what you want. Now we're going to look backwards and be like, okay, what's the first actionable step that I need to do? And it's to set the goal. The goal is I want to start my own business. Amazing. What's the next step? The next step is to move and do something. A lot of people get stuck in this area where they question themselves, doubt it, think that they need to research more or get done by paralysis by analysis. Once you can identify the first step, then you just consistently applying that every day to get further ahead or further along as to where you are. Creating an action plan for this will help you in so many ways. So let's go back to the example, which is building your business. The action plan will be broken down into, okay, if I'm going to start a business, which category do I fall into? What do I want to serve? What do I want to teach? Or what do I want to sell? Sell being a product, teaching being a service. If it's a service you want to teach, what is it that you can teach somebody else? Have you done that before yourself? Have you walked the walk? If you've not walked the walk, then you probably can't talk the talk. So let's say it's a service-based business. You've walked the walk. You're good to go. You'll begin to outline your daily steps as to how you need to show up in your business, in your personal life, to become the person who creates the business. So you're breaking down your goals into daily and then weekly and monthly in order to progress you forward. I always say win the day, win the week, win the month, and then win the year, as opposed to looking at the entire year being like, I've not done anything. Just break it down small enough so you can appreciate the small wins when you make them, and then appreciate the big wins when you make those as well. In anything, you're going to come across obstacles or challenges that you may arise. They always arise. Once you've tackled the first obstacle, whatever it might be, the second one becomes easy, and then the third one and the fourth one, and you realize that you're dealing with bigger challenges that you never thought possible just by doing. Some of the common obstacles that people face, though, can be internal ones. So that can be like procrastination, self-sabotage, fear of success, fear of rejection, as well as everybody's favorite, self-doubt. When you're faced with these types of internal challenges, it's up to you to address and fix them. Fear of failure is just, one, accept that it exists. It's there and it's just there for you. The moment that you address that you're afraid of anything, it kind of makes the monster not so big. It goes from the big shadow in the corner to like something this big. The moment that you address it, the more you ignore it and pretend like it doesn't exist or it's not a thing that you have, the bigger that it seems. I think Layla Hormozi says this, that fear is an inch wide and a mile deep. Once you take the step, you realize that it wasn't that bad. Self-doubt, I think, comes from a place of overthinking. I know for myself personally, that's like one of the killers for me. If I just make a decision, do the actions involved, I give myself no time to question what I decided, because I know once I've made that decision and I'm all in, nothing's stopping me. And then number 4 is your self-care and resilience in whatever it is that you've chosen. Self-care, I know on social media or in many conversations, self-care is just seen as a nice facial or taking yourself outside, which is correct in some ways. But self-care on a much deeper level is making sure that you yourself are getting the things that you need and require. Require being food, water, shelter, finances, making sure your mental and emotional health is stable at all times. And then you have other needs. Are your needs being met? And the only person who can actually meet those is yourself. And then building resilience. Building resilience comes from a place of what I believe of taking one setback and just being like, it's okay, bring on the next. Realizing that with each setback that you take, you're building yourself on an internal level of self-confidence and resilience to just keep tackling the next thing that pops up. Something always pops up in life, and whether that be your personal life or your business or whatever it is, something always pops up. But it's how you decide to address it and continue moving forward regardless of what it is. And that to me is the difference between somebody who truly wants something and somebody who just says they want something. In the moments that you feel like you can't keep pushing through, or in the moments that you feel like you just want to give up, they're the moments that it's the most important to take a step back, take a deep breath, and then push forward into what you truly want. I constantly over my life have always asked myself, what do I want and what am I willing to do to get it? And if the thing that I want is, let me use living in the United States. Living in the United States is something that I truly always wanted. And my answer to it was that I will do whatever it takes, because that's what I'm willing to do. The level of commitment you're willing to give something, I'll do whatever it takes within legal reasons, then your commitment means that nothing that pops up, nothing that somebody says to you will push you off the track that you're meant to be, because you know in your core that you're willing to do what it takes to get there. And when you can come into that alignment with I'm willing to do what it takes, is the moment you step from I'm just talking about the thing that I want to, no, this is happening. This is a new level of obsession for me, and I'm going to get there. So I want you to take a moment, pull out a piece of paper and a pen, and truly, truly, truly reflect on the things that you want, the areas that you want them, whether it's relationships, finances. Everyone's afraid to say that they want money. You can want money. You can want all the money. So your relationships, your finances, your friend circle, your environment where you live or what you have, what do you want your life to look like? Is your current life in alignment with what you want or what you truly want? Or are you living from a place of, well, somebody told me I should want this, or somebody told me I should have this, or I need to have this? As you're writing out your answers, try and go as deeply as possible with them, and that will help you get into the perfect alignment for actually what you truly want. So now that you've reflected on what you truly want and assessed your willingness to achieve it, I challenge you to take the first step today. Not tomorrow, not next week, not in 24 hours, today. The sooner you start something, the better. Get in the habit of being the I do this now. I do it now because that's what it takes, not tomorrow, not next week, now. Identify one specific goal that aligns with your deepest desires and commitment to one actionable step that you can take. Whether it's researching your passion, reaching out to a mentor, or setting aside time to plan, start now. I urge you to share your progress with me on Instagram via the link in the description, or just shoot me a direct message. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share this episode with someone who, just like you, might need to hear this message. Remember, your dreams are worth the effort. All it comes down to is, what do you want and what are you willing to do in order to get it? Thank you so much for joining me on today's episode, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.